try to get comfortable. Don't stare at the camera like a weirdo.
I thought you were trying to zoom in.
I'll zoom in when I edit. Hey guys, it's Kelsey and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to celebrate with you all of hitting 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. And I have my beautiful husband here, my handsome, strong, manly husband, who is a homeschool dad and has been a homeschool dad for how many years? 8 years-ish?
Yep.
And he's going to answer some questions. I went to a couple different places online. I asked you guys in our community tab and different places like that to give us some questions for him. So I'm just going to try to answer the questions. I didn't give them to him beforehand. He's not used to doing this, being on camera. So be patient with him. But I'm gonna ask the questions and try not to answer them. I'll try not to interject too much. Okay, you ready? How did you feel about homeschool when I first brought it to you? What made you get on board with it?
I think knowing that we were gonna be able to help our kids.
How did you feel at first though?
Oh, at first?
Yeah.
I just took some getting used to because it was always a kind of a taboo thing.
Yeah.
That we didn't know much about. We weren't homeschooled, so I didn't know much about it, so I didn't know what to think about it.
How do you feel about it now?
Well, now I appreciate it more because I know that kids struggle with things in public school and can't quite be themselves and have to grow up way too fast. And I think this helps them a lot. So I definitely see it as a good thing with our kids.
So what made you get on board with it? You just started to see. We basically just said we'll try it out for a year.
Yeah.
So what made you say?
I think just see how quickly everybody was excelling with it compared to what they could have got public school. I think it just seemed like they enjoyed it more and they were getting more out of it.
Okay.
So that's how I feel about it.
Question 2. What is your role in our homeschool?
Well, I'm more of the moral support, I would say. When
He's my #1 fan in the comment section here on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, there's that, but then there's when things are more stressful, which there are days that are harder than others. I definitely think I'm there to be more of a supportive figure for sure. I mean, it's not like we don't make decisions together about everything, but
The day-to-day though.
the day-to-day for sure.
But what are some things that you do?
Well, I mean, there are things
are things.
Yeah, sometimes I get involved with experiments and labs and obviously field trips and things like that we do together. And then sometimes, I mean, if they have questions or anything like that, obviously I'll stop and help them with whatever it might be or whatever.
You help a lot more with the life skills.
Yeah, I think so.
You love to, anytime he's working on a project, you always have helpers.
Yeah.
And you're very patient.
Yes.
And
I didn't used to
talk
be.
them
I think
through
that's taken some time to.
Well, that's sanctification.
Sure, but
Homeschooling is sanctification.
getting there
as well.
and being more patient for them to see what I'm doing so they can learn from it too. So,
Yes.
yeah.
They know more than I do probably
Yeah.
when it comes to house stuff.
Yes.
So somebody asked, how do you deal with books and the cost of books? Like having a lot of books. Because my friend just had her husband build her a bunch of bookshelves recently.
Oh, okay.
And we have a lot of books.
We do.
You comment on books. Every time we go to the thrift store, I want more books. And you're like, don't we have enough books?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
I think I might have to reel in a little bit sometimes. I don't think that you get too crazy.
I think my problem is that I don't pay a lot for books. So I want to buy a lot of them because they're cheaper.
when they're on sale.
Well, like at the thrift store.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's only 50 cents.
Right.
It's only $1.
I get it. Well, I think the issue comes down to if we really need it, if the kids are going to get a lot out of it, or if it's just like one of those things where it's like, just kind of sit on the shelf and never get used.
Like most of our books.
Yeah.
Or they'll read it in a couple years.
I mean, it looks nice. I mean, and it is nice to have a lot. It is nice to have a lot of books that they can go and just grab and read. And
I like to flip through a lot of books.
Yeah. So I mean, they get a lot out of it. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's a waste of money. I'd say there's plenty of things that you can waste your money on. You know.
I'll remember that.
That are a lot worse, for sure.
Does homeschool look like school, and should it?
No. I think at first, I've talked about this before in the comments, but like, I know. But yeah, it's like I think at first we wanted to make a classroom in our home.
Well, that's because we went to public school.
Yeah.
I went to school to be a teacher. It just made sense.
Well,
like we made Liam sit down when he couldn't.
Right.
And then we'd get frustrated.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of learning involved, a lot of trial and error, but we come to recognize that the classroom can kind of be anywhere. It doesn't have to have.
We've learned that now that we have babies.
Well, yeah, it has to be, honestly, for us to even finish it every day. It has to be very flexible, and I think the flexibility of it also helps the kids with their focus and their attention and really gaining more from it. Just because, I mean, overall, you know, look at public school and having to sit still at a desk for all those hours every day, and you get tired and you're bored, and instead of paying attention, you're distracted, or you're just sleepy, and you're just not focused as much.
We used to go home and take a nap every day.
Oh yeah, you had to. I mean, it was boring.
Yeah.
It was boring. It wasn't very entertaining. I get it, it's not supposed to be completely entertaining, but I mean, there's gonna be things that bore you, but man, just doing it that much all week long, it's just too much for a kid. So I think breaking it down into being able to take not just the actual curriculum, but then times when we're out, you know, as lessons, life lessons, and things to learn, or hey, we can look this up. Look, I don't know what this is out here. Let's go look it up, you know. Or why does this do that? Let's look that up. And
our kids ask those questions all the time.
And I feel like you somewhat did that in public school, but you weren't as...
You didn't really have the time.
No.
To ask those questions.
No.
Usually went home to your parents and asked them, and they were like, oh,
no.
Ask your teacher.
Ask your teacher, right.
That was before Google.
Right, well, that's true.
What is your favorite part of homeschooling? Besides me.
Well, I think it's just seeing how mature and just sharp the kids seem, you know, at their ages. Like, I'm just trying to think back to, you know, when I was that age, or even the people I knew that were that age, you just weren't very mature, you know what I mean?
So you feel like your favorite part is how it's helping the kids, shaping them.
Right. I think that, I mean, there's so many benefits, but that's the one that really stands out to me. I think that is the most important, is the fact that they're getting the attention they need on that one-on-one level, you know? And they can only really get that through homeschooling. I mean, they can't. I mean, yeah, it'd be very hard for them to get that in public school. So, or even private school, really.
So, how do you do it on one income? Are you rich?
No.
I just want to say that I think most of the influencer homeschoolers on Instagram and places like that probably do have quite a bit of money. But for the mass majority of homeschoolers, even here on YouTube, we're not rich. I promise you. I don't even make any money from this channel. That's why it's not my #1 priority, because it does not provide an income for our family. I just do it because I want to be helpful, and being at home full time, I need a creative outlet. But we are not rich. And you get asked this question at work all the time, because you guys make a pretty decent income, but everybody at work can't seem to figure out how you make it work on one income. So how do we do it? Just give us the quick, easy answer. You don't need to go super in depth. Which we weren't always able to do it, by the way. We used to work alternating days. And
we live like no one else, so we can live like no one else.
You're gonna Dave Ramsey it?
Well, I mean, it's true though. I mean, the baseline of it. So, yeah, you just don't spend frivolously.
We prioritize.
We prioritize.
Things. Staying at home is our staying at home is our #1 priority.
We budget for everything. We stay within our budget.
We don't eat out.
We don't eat out. Like, it's fair.
Except we did today.
Well, yeah, okay, but that was
to celebrate you.
Well, okay, but yeah, it's the biggest thing. It's like
we drive old cars.
We
buy used as much as possible.
Buy used. We fix things that break. We don't buy new ones. We
fix them ourselves.
We fix them ourselves. Yeah, so we save money there and I'm not a handyman by any means. I have to learn everything, mostly YouTube videos, whatever I gotta use, and kind of just go along. I picked up lots of things over the years. I can work on our cars. I can repair some basic things in our home, and I can work on appliances and technical stuff like computers and electronics and things. I can work on all those things. So I've learned a lot over the years and how to save money without having to spend a bunch paying for repairs or paying for people to do things around the house, paint, all that stuff. We do all that. Replace the floor. But then we try and constantly find the best deal on things. So we're always looking for the best deals. Not just buying secondhand, but just things that are on sale or
that we need.
That we need.
We don't buy things we don't.
Right. Or subscriptions or monthly things we pay for. Wow, we can get this for so much cheaper, and it's usually a headache to change things. It's not.
But you do it because you don't care.
Right.
Because you just want to save money.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I know I might have to spend an hour or two on the phone talking to whoever about internet or, insurance or whatever it might be. But if it's gonna save us, 80, 90.
Are you bitter that you've been on the phone recently with insurance and internet?
80,
for hours.
Trim $100, $200 in monthly expenses off completely, and then that's $200 that you can put towards whatever else you need to pay. So, and then you just try and stay obviously within your means. So
we weren't always good at that.
No, but
this is just our priority. For me to be at home and to homeschool. I could go out and get a job. We could send our kids to public school. And we could buy new cars and go on, I mean, we do go on vacations, but go on, luxurious vacations.
Even on vacations, we budget everything out. We cook most of our own food. We don't really go out to eat on vacation. We do occasionally. We
don't even get food on the road anymore.
No, we just pack sandwiches in a cooler and some drinks, and you don't have to stop and get food. And the kids still enjoy it.
Do you help with curriculum, as in help choose it?
Yeah, I mean, I think
my videos help.
Yeah, they do.
You watching my videos?
I do watch the videos, but that helps. Honestly, watching your videos every week kind of helps me understand the curriculum more, because I don't. You know a lot more than what I do, because I mean, you do a lot of research.
That's my job.
You get a lot of hands-on experience with all the different curriculums, and I know some of the words and some of the names and terms and brands and things. I know some of these words, but like brands.
But we sit down at the beginning of the school year too.
I think that we sit down, we talk, we have a budget, we talk about costs, and then we really talk about what's going to work best for our family.
And
each
sometimes
child.
You have to pull me off the ledge of jumping ship.
I think so. You'll start a new curriculum up, and you won't like it. But I don't think you have given it quite enough time yet. So I think sometimes you're like, well, maybe we need to get this curriculum now. It's like, well, all right, but we need to try this one a little more. Yeah, I mean, that's all part of the back and forth with it, and our decision making, or at least with my role in it all. I trust your opinion on a lot of these things because you've done the research, and I know you've done the research. You know, just like things that I might, excel at, you're gonna trust my opinion on it.
Like cars.
Yeah, we're gonna budget, and you're gonna be like, I know you did the research, and this is the best price we could get on this part, whatever it might be. And then, okay, let's go for it.
The question you always ask me when I tell you about a curriculum is, oh, do we need it?
Yeah.
And what do I usually say? I usually say, well, I have something else, but I really want to try it. And then you say, but do we need it? And then I say,
I see what you mean.
Well, no, we don't really need it.
No. Well, sometimes I know.
If we need it, I don't really ask.
Well, yeah,
I just say,
okay,
we need this, and I'm going to get it.
Sometimes
I ask you when I want you to tell me no.
Okay.
So, are you subscribed to my channel?
Yes.
Do you think they should subscribe?
Yes.
You should tell them that.
You should subscribe.
Smooth. What is one thing you'd say to dads who are skeptical about homeschooling? Because I feel like usually the people that need convinced the most are the dads.
So, yeah, it's gonna be harder for the dads, because I think a lot of dads are worried about like their kids being awkward because of it, or like they don't get to play sports, so they're not going to gain all these skills and these social skills that they get going to public school or playing sports. Although we know that the kids can still play sports, and they do. They play on...
In our state, they can actually play in the district that they would go to as their homeschool.
Yeah.
So that just goes right out the window there.
Yeah, it does. And then with the socialization thing, I mean, they still socialize with other kids all the time. Whether it's going out to the park or going out to stores or on field trips or environment, and just in the world in general, or kids in the neighborhood, it's like they're going to have friends. And I mean, it just seems silly that you have to go to school where you're really not even supposed to be socializing.
I got told that a lot as a kid. We're not here to talk.
Right, not here to talk, not
We're
here to socialize.
To learn.
So, that shouldn't even be a factor. And that's like, I think, what the biggest stereotype about it is. Kids are just going to be weird if they're homeschooled.
Are our kids weird?
No. Our kids are unique, for sure. But
are we weird? Are we awkward?
Well, a little bit, but no, there's...
But we went to public school
That's
our
what I'm saying.
entire lives.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. If you're going to be
you were
awkward...
probably from your time you were 3 to 22.
If you're going to be awkward, you're going to be awkward. Public school, homeschool, private school, it doesn't matter. You're just going to be awkward. That's not going to affect it at all. We're just trying to educate our children. Life skills come naturally, and actually they have more opportunities to experience things than kids in public school. So
they definitely travel more, probably.
They travel more. They get to be more part of the home because they're here all day long, so they get to see lots of different things. And I think that's a better skill than anything else, because that's what you're going to be using more than anything else in life.
Learn from the best.
Yeah, right. I try. You try.
Okay. So there you have it, all of your questions answered. If you have any more, he will be down in the comment section, I'm sure. So make sure to ask your questions down there, and maybe we'll do a part 2 if we have enough, and if not, we will try to answer them down in the comment section. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.